Hey everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and last night I got to finish watching episodes 10 and 11 of The Bad Batch Season 3, and yeah, they keep giving us these two-parters, and it's pretty awesome, honestly. It feels like I'm watching a small movie every single time, and yeah, we got some pretty dramatic ones this time. So last episode, we finally got the return of Asajj Ventress, and I think some people were anticipating that she was gonna immediately come back, and she still might, but I think the show's definitely moving on to like its third act. Like we're starting what's gonna be the end of the show, because I think we only have what 3 or 4 episodes left, I think. And honestly, I hope with the series finale showing up, it's going to be like a really long episode, because it does feel like we kind of have a lot to cover still. But I'm pretty satisfied with these 2 episodes. So the first one is entirely like Mount Tantiss focused. It's all about Imri, or Dr. Khan, which again, it's weird that she has a last name. I think her name is Khan, Dr. Khan, so it's Imri Khan, but like, do any other clones have a last name like that? That's kind of strange, right? Because there's still a lot of unanswered questions about her, because Omega says she doesn't remember her ever being on Kamino. So I don't know, was this clone made on Mount Tantiss? Like, where did she come from? It's kind of interesting, but in any case, yeah, it's all about her. She's basically taking Nala Se's place as like the chief science officer person, and she's basically led into all the secret vaults and rooms that she was never allowed into before, and one of which is turns out they got a bunch of kids there. So, you know, way at the beginning of the season, you know, we saw Omega's blood and a bunch of other people's blood being tested to see if it would, you know, if their M count would be able to bind with whatever, right? We had like clone blood, and then we had some supposed, we all thought at the time, Palpatine blood. Turns out that was not Palpatine's blood. They have a small group of like 3 force sensitive children that they're just keeping in this vault. Like, they've literally just kidnapped little kids, and they're taking their blood samples, and that's what they're testing with all the clone blood. So now we kind of have a better idea of like, okay, and what's his name, Hemlock, kind of spells this out for us, because it was, you know, it was kind of unclear, like, is Omega force sensitive, or is she just capable of merging with force sensitive blood, like her blood does that, you know, kind of thing. So basically it's like this, you cannot clone force sensitive blood directly, but if you have what he called a binder, which I know that actually is a scientific term, her blood acts as a binder to keep the clone blood and the M count high enough or something. It's, you know, again, it's kind of weird idea, but basically it is like, you can clone a force sensitive being, but that M count is going to be diminished unless you add Omega's blood, which like helps that M count stay connected somehow. Now, why is her blood so special exactly? How does that work? I don't know. I don't quite get it. Maybe she is force sensitive and that somehow helps it. I don't know. It's very strange, but in any case, now we know where all that blood came from. We all thought, like, some people had joked that, like, oh, Palpatine is sitting in a chair somewhere and he's constantly giving blood samples out. And it's, I mean, I guess I could see that if he's trying to clone himself, but like, it does seem kind of strange for it, the idea of him just sitting there like, here, take my blood. Why not? You know, he'd probably be more protective of that. So the idea that the Empire has kidnapped force sensitive children and is just using them as little blood bags, yeah, that makes a lot of sense for them. That's a very Empire thing to do. And of course, you know, we're slowly getting Imri kind of more attached to these kids, and she's kind of seeing like what this place is doing, and her humanity is growing, you know. So like, she, you know, being a clone who I have to assume was born here on Mount Tantiss, you know, she's always kind of just been part of the system, following what's his name, Hemlock's orders, right? But now she's starting to care about these kids. She kind of started to care about Omega, and, you know, like, it's kind of gonna all boil down to hoping that Imri does the right thing and helps people escape, especially considering what happens in the next episode. But to stick with this one for a little bit longer, we do get a Cad Bane cameo, and that's pretty cool. We saw him in the trailer, and I guess we were all assuming he was gonna have a bigger part, but it really is just like a small cameo. You know, he's in a couple scenes. He takes this force sensitive kid and he gives it to the Empire. And that's really it. That's kind of all he does. So maybe he'll come back also. I don't know. It would be kind of cool to get like a Cad Bane versus Asajj kind of thing, but I don't know if the show has room for that, because like I said, we still got a lot of stuff we got to do, like Rex and his whole crew, and they still don't even know where Mount Tantus is, and there's so much they got to cover. I don't know, it would be cool, but I don't know if we have time for all these characters to come back at the very, very end. But in any case, next episode, so basically we're here on our little island paradise, I forget the name of it, but the crew is on their way out because they're taking Asajj's advice, and they're like, yeah, you're right, if Asajj could find us here, the Empire could easily find us here. We gotta go. So they're packing, they're getting ready to leave. Unfortunately, the assassin guy, what they're like soldier, like clone X's or whatever they're called, you know, the mysterious ones who survived that waterfall fight. Anyways, so they're back, or that guy's back, and he's basically like, all right, I'm not gonna fail again. And everyone's still kind of suspecting this might be tech. Honestly, I'm leaning towards it's not tech, and it is just these crazy enhanced assassin clones. But in any case, basically he's able to find his way through Wanda Sykes' character. He's able to like sneak on her ship, download some coordinates, and figure out that like, oh, she's been to Pabu, that's right, that's the name of the planet. Anyways, she's been there recently, so he's able to get those coordinates. He goes there, he's like, okay, there's Omega, there's Hunter, there's all of them. So he calls it in, and now the Empire's on its way in. And you know, sure enough, before they're able to leave, he's able to blow up the Marauder. So their ship's just gone, you know, just like Din Djarin's ship at the end of season 2. It's just gone now. There's their iconic ship, gone forever. You know, so they're gonna need a new ship now. That's another thing they're gonna have to solve. I don't know how they'll. So much stuff to do. Anyways, basically the town is being overrun by the Empire, and everyone's on the run, and everything's going crazy, and they're trying to get away out of here. And just everything goes wrong. Hunter tries to take a ship, but they end up crashing the ship. Omega ends up surrendering herself, and she's like, well, don't worry, I'll bring a tracker on me, and then if they check me for trackers, you can just throw a tracker on the ship as they're taking me away, and that way we'll finally know where Mount Tantus is. And of course, everything goes horribly wrong. They scan her immediately. Okay, that tracker's done. And then Crosshair, who's supposed to be able to like shoot a tracker onto the ship before it leaves, he doesn't get there in time. You know, he has to fight his way through a couple of soldiers. He takes a shot, but he misses. And is like, well, god damn it. No tracker. Omega's gone again. Back to Mount Tantus. And we still don't know where it is. They don't know where Mount Tantus is. They don't have a ship. This place has been overrun by the Empire, so I don't know how they're gonna regroup and try to get out of here. Goddamn, you know, so things are not looking good. Things are just not looking great for the crew right now. They've lost Omega for the second time, or it feels like the third time actually. And kind of it all boils down now to like Omega's gonna show up, try to have to, I guess, play on the sympathy of Imri there, because now Imri's, you know, she's seen what they're doing to these other kids here, and now Omega's back, and she's probably gonna be like, okay, this ain't right. We gotta stop this. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what's going on. I mean, maybe the Bad Batch calls Asajj back and be like, hey, maybe you should have stuck around for like at least another 24 hours, because stuff kind of immediately went downhill as soon as you left. Yeah, just the crew's in a bad place. They're gonna need some help. I don't know if they're gonna be able to contact Rex or what's gonna happen. And like I said, they don't have a ship. They don't know where Mount Tantus is. Omega's like any of her plans of being able to like track them all the way there, that seems to have not worked at all. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what the plan is here. Yeah, really sucks for the crew. But in any case, things are getting real tense. And, you know, I'm still curious if they're going to finally show us what is in those vats on Mount Tantus. They kind of tease us a little bit with it in this episode, but we still don't see what's in them. We don't see all the crazy experiments that they're doing. Now we just know that children are involved in the experiments. And, yeah, it's, you know, Empire evil. So, And yeah, that's pretty much the episode. Let me know what you guys think about these episodes of The Bad Batch. I think we only have 3 episodes left, I think. Yeah, just it feels like they got a lot of ground to cover. And you know, I do like that they put out these 2 episodes together, because we got one whole episode that was just focused on Emery and Mount Tantus, and I feel like if that was on like the one episode on its own, it would have been fine, but also we would have been like, but what's happening with the crew? What's going on? You know, like, are they leaving? Are they staying? Like, what's happening there? So I'm glad that we kind of immediately got both of those. Yeah, very, very curious as to what's going on here, right? I mean, like, the series can't end with Omega still being captured, right? Like, I understand that, like, eventually the cloning stuff works on Exegol, right? So, but you know, it's not going to end with Omega being captured and all her blood, like, you know, being taken to be used in future experiments, right? So I don't know, they'll gotta find some way out of here. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.